Why your dream university might not be the right university for you. You have a dream university, right? Maybe it's Harvard, maybe it's Oxford, maybe it's IIT. You know the name. You can picture the campus. You have a plan built entirely around getting in. Here's the question nobody has asked you. Was that university actually built for a person like you? Because getting in and belonging there are two completely different things. By the end of this, I want you to be able to answer one question. Not which university is the best, you already know how to Google that, right? The question is which university was designed for the way your mind actually works? That's a harder question and a rarer one. And almost nobody in your school is asking it. Here's why that matters. The student who thrives at Oxford is not the same student who thrives at Harvard. The student who struggles at MIT might have been extraordinary at a small university with 12 students per class. Rankings don't tell you that. Open days don't tell you that. Your school counselor probably hasn't told you that. But by the end of this conversation, you'll have a framework to figure it out yourself. Stay with me because the third part is the insight that changes everything. I want you to tell about Meera. Meera is a grade 12 IB student, predicted 40. Her teachers call her one of the most intellectually curious students they have seen in years. She wants to study economics, and she has exactly one university on her list, the London School of Economics. She's been building towards it since grade 9. Her desktop wallpaper is the LSE campus. She reads 3 books by LSE professors. Her personal statement took 6 months to write. She gets in, and the first 3 weeks feels exactly like the dream she imagined. Then week 4 arrives. The lecture hall holds 400 students. She cannot see the professor clearly. There is no discussion, no back and forth. Nobody is asking what she thinks. She raises her hand once. The teaching assistant moves on before she finishes her sentence. Meera is sitting inside one of the world's most respected economics departments, and she's completely invisible. Not because LSE is a bad university, it isn't, but because Meera is the kind of learner who needs intellectual conversation. She needs to be challenged personally, not lectured at from stage. She needs a teacher to push back on her thinking. LSE was not built for that. She wasn't wrong to want LSE. She just didn't know what LSE was actually built for. Nobody told her the right question to ask. What students think is happening when most students say, I want to go to Harvard, what they are actually saying is, I want to be the kind of person who went to Harvard. That's not wrong. Brand matters, network matters, even history matters. But there's a quiet confusion underneath that statement. We assume that the highest ranked university is the best university for everyone. That's like saying the best car in the world is the right car for you, without asking whether you are parking in a narrow city lane or driving across a desert. The ranking tells you about the university's global reputation. It tells you nothing about whether you will thrive there. Those are completely different measurements, and we have been treating them as the same thing for years. What's actually happening and what most students never realize. Here's where it gets interesting. Every top university was designed for a specific type of learner in mind. Research universities such as MIT, Harvard, Stanford were built to produce researchers. Their professors are world class academics. But those academics are primarily there to research, not to teach you personally. The lecture halls are large. One on one time is rare. You are expected to figure out a great deal independently. If you are a student who thrives in that environment, who loves working alone, finding your own questions, building your own answers, this is your world, dear. But if you need mentorship, regular feedback, someone to notice when your thinking goes sideways, a large research university will not reliably give you that. Now look at Oxford's tutorial system. Every week, you sit alone with one of the world's leading academics. You defend an essay you wrote entirely yourself. They challenge every argument. They don't let a weak point pass. That sounds extraordinary. And for the right student, it is. The student who can handle intellectual challenge without emotional collapse. The student who can say, I was wrong about that argument and rebuild immediately. But for a student who needs encouragement to think out loud, who shuts down when challenged, that same tutorial system feels like a weekly test they never prepared for. Same world class university, completely different experience, depending entirely on who you are. Most students miss this completely. The realization almost nobody gives you. Here is what I want you to walk away with. Before you build your university list, before you write your personal statement, before you research entry requirements, answer these 4 questions about yourself. Honestly. Question 1. Do I work better alone or in conversation with others? Question 2. Do I need external deadlines and structures or can I direct myself? Question 3. When I'm challenged intellectually, do I rise to it or do I need to be supported through it? And last, question 4. Do I care more about the peers I learn alongside or the professors I'll be taught by? These 4 questions will immediately eliminate half your list, and they will surface university you have never considered that may be a far better fit than the name on your desktop wallpaper. Because here's the truth that nobody says out loud. A student who belongs in a small, discussion based university with 15 people per seminar but forces themselves into a 1,000 student lecture system doesn't just perform worse. They spend 3 years quietly convinced that something is wrong with them. It isn't. The system was simply built for someone else. So here's what I want you to carry from this. Stop asking which university is the best. Start asking which university was built for the way my mind works. These are not the same question, and most students spend 4 years of their life answering the first one without ever thinking about the second. The students who thrive at elite universities are not always the ones with the highest predicted grades. They are the ones who choose an environment that matched how they learn, what energizes them, the kind of challenge they responded to rather than collapse under. You are not competing for a name on a certificate. You are choosing an environment that will shape who you become for the next 4 years. Choose the right environment, not the most famous one. If this made you look at your university list differently, that is the work. join the Lumino community. The link is below. It's a space for students who want to think clearly about their future, not just collect application tips. And next time, we are going to talk about what happens to the student who does get into their dream university and quietly falls apart in 2 years. That one is going to be important. See you there.